It's time for another iCodeThis challenge. This is the weekly challenge called timer. It's a timer functionality. I can put minutes here and seconds here. And when I hit play button, my timer starts counting down, and I have this background color animation that's filling the circle. And as soon as my time goes up, I get the alert saying time is up. Okay, let's build this together. Hi guys, welcome back. Now I already submitted my solution over at iCodeThis.com, so I will recreate it in my own editor, and I will put the link to my solution if you want to see the code. As always, I highly recommend, if you are a front-end developer who needs practice, join iCodeThis.com. It's a great place. You can have a bunch of projects to practice your skills. Okay, let's get started with our timer. Okay, as you can see, I have my HTML file to the left. This is our live website where we will see all the changes. All right, let's get started on the functionality. And first, let's see how can we allow users to change these numbers. As you can see now, you cannot do anything. It's hard coded in my two spans. My first span with ID of minutes and the second with ID of seconds. I thought first of putting this in two inputs, type number, of course, and then handling the changes to the values, but then I decided to do something else instead. Instead, I will make these two spans editable, and to do that, you just apply content editable attribute. You can put its value to true, but you can also omit that. You can only put content editable. Okay, if I save now, let's see my website. Here it is. Now, as you can see, I can change the content in my two spans. Okay, with that, we can change the content in our two spans, but you can see the problem with this. My user can enter whatever he or she wants, so that's not good. We need to do some kind of validation. This is what we will do first. We will first make a function that will validate user's input, and then after that we will start working on countdown timer. As you can see in my JS, I have my minutes and second element. These are my two spans. And then I have my two buttons, play and pause and stop button. Okay, so let's first make a function. We will call it validate input, for example. And this function needs event as a parameter. And first I will define a constant called element, for example, which will be e.target. Okay, then I will define another constant called value, and this will be our element dot value. In fact, I cannot use the value here because I don't have my inputs. It's a span, therefore I need either inner text or text content. I prefer text content, which will give us whatever is in my two spans. Of course, this should be a const. Okay, now I'm getting the value that is entered. Now I need to do some validation. I should prevent that user enters, for example, text or other special characters. It should be only numbers. And for that, I will use a regular expression. Therefore, I will define a new constant called, let's say, numeric value. And this will be, I will use the value I get here. And on that, because it's a string, I will use replace string method. And what I will replace, I will copy this regular expression. This will find this will give us all the non-numeric characters, and this G stands for globally. So I will find 9 non-numeric characters and I will replace them with an empty string, which will basically remove it from our input. And then, because I want only to have 2 digits, I will slice this non-value. So let's define another constant called, let's say, final value, which will be num value slice, and I will slice it from the 0 index to places. Now I need to do some other validation. What do I need to do? Because of course these are minutes and these are seconds, and in both cases my values should be from 0 to 59. So I will do an if check, and I will check if my final value, with just in case I will parse as an integer, just in case. So if that number is greater than, not less than, but greater than 59. If that's the case, I want to put as my text content of my element, I want to put string 59. So I cannot have a greater value than 59. If the user enters, for example, 80, it will reset it back to 59. Okay, and now else. Theoretically, I can have, I should also do the check if the number is below 0, but this will make sure that the user cannot enter minus, so minus number. So I will just simply in the else block, I will put the text content of my element to my final value. Okay, so that will be my validation logic, and now let's test this out, and let's bind this to, I want to bind it to both my minutes and seconds elements. So I will say minutes element, I will add event listener, and important thing, you don't listen for a change event, you listen for input event. This won't be working with the change event. Okay, and on input, I will call validate input function, and I will do the same for the seconds element. Okay, let's save this and bring back our live website and test this out. I should not be able to put any values other than number. Let's try to put some text. Okay, I'm typing my keyboard, hammering my keyboard, but it's not working. Let's try some special characters as well, not working. Let's try numbers. Okay, working, 59. But let's try to enter 99. Okay, not working. Let's test it here also on the seconds. I can enter 50, 59, but I cannot go above 59. Awesome, our validation logic is working. Now I allowed my user to change the timer, and now I can start working on the countdown functionality. So when I click this button, my timer starts counting down. Okay, for that I'm gonna need 2 helper variables, which I will make global so I can access them globally. I will define the variable called interval, which will initially be undefined. I will use this variable to set and clear interval. So each second I will decrease my seconds with the function I'm about to make. And then my second variable will be, let's say, is playing, which will be a boolean that will control whether or not my countdown timer is counting. Initially, this will be false. Okay, so below my validation function, let's put some comments to my code. And here I will define countdown. Okay, so now let's just create this function, countdown. Okay, let's see what do we need to achieve. First, I will grab my text content of my two spans. So I'll say let minutes will be, again, I will parse as an integer my content of my minutes element. And since I'm not covering the case when this is an empty string, I will use or 0, which will in that case put this value. If I don't have the text content, it will be 0. And then I will define the seconds, which will be again the same for the seconds element. Okay, so either the text content user entered or 0. Okay, and now I need to do to make a check to see if if my seconds are greater than 0. If they are not 0, I want to decrease the seconds each second. I will call an interval each second. And if my seconds goes to 0, I want to check if I have more minutes. So if I have more minutes left, I will reset my seconds back to 59, and it will repeat the process until my seconds are 0 and minutes are 0. So if my seconds are 0, okay, let's put an else block first because it's more simple. If they are not 0, I want to decrease my seconds. Okay, but if my seconds are 0, then I need another check. So I need to check if my minutes are also 0. Okay, and once again, I will have an else block, meaning that I still have more minutes. And again, this is simpler. In that case, I want to decrease, oops, what just happened here? I want to decrease my minutes for 1, and I want to reset my seconds to put the value of the seconds to 59. Okay, and then I just need to handle what happens if my seconds are minutes and minutes are 0, meaning that my timer is up. Okay, in that case, I want first to clear the interval, and of course, my interval is not set yet. It won't be set inside this function, but in the other functions that will be calling this function. But that's why I put this interval globally. So I will clear my interval called interval. And then I want to alert to my user that the time is up. And I also need my other global variable, which is playing, to put it again back to false. So is playing will be false. And this finally I will return, so to stop my function from executing anymore. This is meaning that my time is up. And of course, maybe alert is not the best user experience. Feel free to, instead of this, display some message in the UI to update the UI if you want. My focus is here on the functionality. Now let's define my function to start and pause the timer, and I will be calling that function when clicking on this button. Okay, and basically that function will be calling this function every 1 second. Alrighty, so let's put a comment, and for that I will define a function with the same name. Now for this I will use my global variable. This one is playing, so this will control, so if my timer is playing, when I click on this button, I will put change the value of that variable, and I will pause my timer, and if my timer is paused, when I click another time, I will start my timer again. Again, I will do an if check, and I will check if it is playing, meaning that if this is true, that's meaning that my timer is already going on. If that's the case, I want to pause the timer, and I will do that with clearing the interval with the name interval, my global variable. Else, meaning that my timer is not playing, I want to start my timer. Then I want to set my interval to the interval that will be calling countdown every 1 second. Okay, but first I want to get the total amount of seconds I have entered. This I will be using later to control the duration of my animation, this filling circle animation. So therefore, I will define a constant called total seconds, and let's parse as an integer again. I will use minutes element dot text content, and again or 0. So this will give us the number of minutes, and I will multiply that with 60, and to that I will add, again I will do parse integer, and this time seconds element text content, again or 0. Okay, so this will give me a total amount of seconds in my timer. So then I will do an if check, and I will check if my total seconds is greater than 0, meaning that I still have time in my timer. And finally here I will declare my interval. So my interval will be set interval, and I want to set an interval calling a countdown function every 1000 milliseconds or 1 second. Alrighty, and now outside my if check I will just set my is playing to whatever is opposite, meaning if it's true I will put it to false, and if it is false I will put it back to true. So next time I click on the same button, if I stopped my timer, it will start again. If I started when I click, it will stop. Okay, that was a lot of coding without testing, so that's never good. So let's bind this to our button and test it. Okay, so down there where are my event listeners, I will use my play pause button, and I will add event listener. Of course, it's a click event, and on the click event I will call start pause timer function. Okay, let's finally save this and test it out. Okay, so I will enter some value, let's say 20 seconds, And now if when I click play, my timer should start counting down. Let's see if we were successful. Oh, amazing. We were not successful. Let's see what did we mess up. Okay, I don't have errors in the console. What is the problem here? Okay, it took me a while to figure out what went wrong. I didn't have any errors in my console because everything was okay with my function, but here in my countdown function, I forgot something very important. I forgot that after I do these if checks and which will control my minutes and seconds, I also need to update my UI. So, of course, I want my minutes element, text content. I want to put the text content to the minutes variable I have, and also the same for the seconds element. Text content should also be seconds. Okay, let's save this now and see the difference. So now if I put 21 and hit play, okay, you see 20 and my timer is decreasing. Now, just noticed here, I don't want to have only one digit. So here I will convert this to string and I will apply pad start method. Pad start. I want the length to be 2, and if it's not 2 places, I will insert a 0 in front of the text, which is basically what this method will do. I will copy the same for the seconds. Okay, let's see now. If I put here 15 seconds. Okay, now I have 2 digits for the minutes, and you can see now I have 08, 07, and so on. Amazing. Now my logic is working. As you can see, my time is up. Now I need to make some changes in the UI, meaning that when I hit play button, this should change to pause button instead, and vice versa. So luckily I'm using font awesome, and this is controlled with the classes on my I tag, so this is very simple to do. Okay, let's make this change now. So here in my start pause timer function, if my timer is playing, I want to let me show you my HTML. This is my play pause button, and so I need to access the child of the button and change the class. So I will say play pause button, and I will access children array with the 0 index, which will give me my first and only child. And on that child, I want class list, and I want to replace the class like this. And then I will copy this line and paste it here after I set the interval, but this time I will reverse it. Okay, let's save this and see what have we done. Let's also put 1 minute to test this out. 1 minute 2 seconds. Okay, now when I click the button, I should, instead of play icon, I should have a pause icon. Okay, that's nice. Okay, my timer is updating correctly, so I have now 0 minutes and my seconds are going down. Okay, now let's try pausing this timer. Alrighty, now my timer is paused and I have here changing the icon. Let's hit play again. You see my timer is resumed and I again have pause icon. Awesome. Now let's work on applying stopping functionality. Okay, for that I will make another function. Let's put a comment stop timer, and I will define a function with the same name. Okay, again, like with pausing, the like here, when we pause the timer, I will change the value of my two global variables. So first I will clear the interval. I will clear this interval and I will put is playing back to false. And what else do I want? I also want to update my UI. So here I will copy this line. I think that should do it. Let's test it and see what's going on. Put some value, start our timer. Now when I stop, click, oh, okay. Mistake, I haven't added the event listener. Not so fast. First I need to add event listener to my stop button. And when I have click event, I want to call stop, not stop button, but stop timer function. Okay, let's save now. Okay, let's set the value again and see. Okay, my timer started. Now when I click this button, okay, my timer stopped, but I also need to update my UI. So underneath this, I want to again put the text content of my two spans back to 0, and also for the second element. Let's see the difference now. So now when I start my timer, okay, my timer is starting. Now let's click this. As you can see, I have this icon resetted and my timer is stopped and it's back to 0 when it started. Again, starting the timer, and again, when I click stop, my timer has stopped. Amazing. Timer functionality done. Now, one last thing before we wrap up today's video, I want to implement the animation. Okay, to achieve that, I put another div inside my big div with the class of time. This is the that div with the class of time, this whole circle, and with the content inside. So inside I put another empty div with the class of progress circle, and let me show you in my CSS. It's positioned to absolute, and has a border radius 50%, which will make it a circle. And I put a background color on that div, but it has a width and a height of 0, which meaning that it's not visible in the UI. And then I defined the keyframes called fill, which will at 100% put width and the height of this div to 100%. Now I should only apply this animation to my progress circle div, and so that it follows my timer. Okay, so inside my JavaScript, let's first define a constant for my div already. Now inside our start pause timer, when we start our timer, putting the interval here, this is where I will declare my animation on my progress circle div. So I will change the style of this div, in particular animation. And now let's use backticks, because I need to put the time of duration of this animation will be my total seconds. This is why I calculated the total seconds, total duration of my timer in seconds. So I will declare the name of the animation is fill, and then I will use $ curly braces to put the duration to total seconds. And also my animation should be linear and should stay forwards when it finishes. Okay, let's test this out to see if my animation is starting, and then we will work on removing the animation. Okay, hit save. Now let's declare some 15 seconds, for example. Now let's hit play button. Okay, something is wrong. I immediately had my animation. Let's see, what did I mess up? Yeah, typical. I declared my seconds, but this should also have S saying that it is that much seconds. So this was the problem. Let's save now and see again. Again, I will put 15 seconds, and when I play now, you can see my circle is starting from the center and slowly spreading up, and it follows my timer, and it should hit the end as soon as my timer hits 0, like it just did. I will copy this line, and whenever I clear the interval, I will put this back to none. And also that should be here when I stop my timer. Okay, let's test it now. Okay, let's see, let's put 20 seconds, start my, okay, if I stop my timer, okay, my animation stopped. If I start my timer again, okay, my animation is starting again, and this time it will slowly follow, it follows the tempo of my timer. Alrighty, and I think with that we are finished with our functionality. As you could see, it's not it wasn't that easy to implement something this simple. We needed to take care of the validation and also updating the UI, and finally the animation. As always, I encourage you to change this to fit your need, and maybe some other time we should also make this alarm and stopwatch functionalities as well. But that should be it for today. I want to thank you for watching this video. As always, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm doing here. See you around. Lots of love, and bye bye.